Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got an unbingo-y rack, but I do have some scoring tiles and I do have some vowels, so I should be able to play through this. I'd like to get rid of the V and the X, and I can do that with Vex or Vox. Vexed would also be good through an E. And either of those plays would leave a pretty decent rack leave. I would have Overmix through an I. And Vexer through an E. So quite a number of candidate plays. Hopefully one or more will be available. If my opponent changes, I'll play Vox in the middle. That leaves a decent rack leave and doesn't provide very much for my opponent. Wow, nice start for my opponent, 40 points. Vox does play in row I. Down here. So Vox for 31, can I do better than that? I certainly do want to play off the V, retaining the V, or the V and the M. Definitely inferior to the current rack leave. So I could play Vexed for 32, well that's a similar score, and would keep MOR. I think I'll retain this rack leave and go with Vox. Pretty good. This looks very close to a bingo. Remedies through an E. Remised I think is good, and that may have an anagram, so I could well have a 7 with this rack. And I'm thinking there should be something through the A. That looks a very promising set of tiles, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. EX. Likely to be used at some point with a column 5 play. Can't see a bingo with that. Okay, the A's been taken out. No E for remedies. Well, what about Remi-ids? I think that's good, and that would play making par, and it would be good to have a bingo. Yes, that's fine. I don't have an O for going underneath EX. Remi-ids also plays making spar, which would be less dangerous than playing in row I. Now, do I have a double-double or even a single bingo through the U? So this rack plus a U. Not that I can see. Although it feels like there could be something there. Now how about the I, dimerize? Quite nice. And that gets the M doubled. And the whole word doubled. So dimerize for 78. Not bad. Balanced. No duplicates. Probably not a bingo with a W and a K, but hopefully I can score well with those tiles. And I've got an O for going underneath X, so I've got Wok in row J, or Woken. Now, is there definitely no bingo here? So I've got walk as a component part of a word with ENO. Work through an R. There is an R in dimerize. Opponent goes in the spot I had my eye on. Exo takes an N. Wow, just wondering if I have an N something WK word. Toyo also takes an N, so column 8 possibly available. Weak on is good. Can't see anywhere for that. Dimerize takes a D and an S at the end. Now I have Wok down here for 39 points. Pretty good. Pretty good rack leave. Do I stick EN on the end? I think I do, because it scores more and it interrupts row N for D and S hooks for dimerize, and I do have a slender lead. I'm going with this. Pretty good. I have Lamager and Gremiel. Not sure either plays. The board not particularly bingo friendly. Woken takes nothing after it. Par takes an S, so row F available for bingos ending in S. But apart from that, slim pickings. Pafui doesn't take anything, so column 13 isn't available. And Par takes nothing. Well, Par takes an O in front as well as an S. I don't have one of those. I don't have an N for going underneath XO. I guess ES and NE are potentially useful 2-letter combinations for a 9-letter word. So, what about this rack plus ES? Wow, fantastic. Gremiel now plays in column 14 because Mol is good, as is More. Both would open up column 15. Now, how about row L? This should be an easier to spot 9-letter word than usual because it could be an 8 with the S on the end. So, this rack plus an E. Not seeing anything. I would have green mail through EN. Wow, look at that. NE just the wrong way round for that. Way doesn't take anything after it that I have, it's just an S. So, Lamager or Gremiel? Lamager scores more, but More takes more hooks after it. So I think I will go with Gremiel for 79. Is there something I've missed? Let me just briefly take this back. Through IO, not particularly useful. Ending in I opens up row A. What about NE? I didn't properly... Well, I considered that with green mail. What about going through ES? Not necessarily an S plural. So maybe an IES word. Just not seeing anything. No. In which case, I think I am back to Gremiel for 79. And I quite like Gremiel because it's providing 2 hotspots, one next to Mol and the E next to this double letter square. Both could be taken, but it's likely that one will remain available. And I have a 100-point lead, but that could be about to shrink dramatically. I have Gauffer in row D, which would sort the rack out, getting rid of all of my troublesome tiles. It's good to see the S. Well, I think if my O was an A, I may have Swarfages. Can't see anything with this current rack. This isn't particularly bingo-y. Wow, look at that. 41 points for just a 3-letter word with no scoring tiles. At least that was not worse. Now I don't have a play in column 15 because I don't have an E for going after the R. And Gauffer would nicely take out that spot and not provide very much in return. I guess row E, potential double-double lane. Can't see anything in column 13. 28 points is a decent score. Just wondering about this triple letter square. My F can go there. I'm going with Galfa. Pretty good. I have dacoits, and that plays in row F, making spar, although that could be blocked if opponent plays in row E. Can't see anywhere else for it. Woken not taking an S. Now this rack looks pretty good with NE and IS. What about NE? Catenoids and sonicated. Neither works. What about ES? So let me first consider an 8 plus an S. So this rack plus an E. Not seeing anything. Associated is not good, although associate is. There could be something. This rack plus an E. Not seeing anything. Can't see anything with the G. What else is there? I still don't have an N for going after Exo or Toyo. I have Sodaic on my rack for over 40 points, so I may play that if I can't bingo. I guess there are 3-letter sets for 10-letter bingos, but I haven't learnt any of those. Well, I have Exodic for 32. That might be better than playing Sodaic. Retains the S, and overall a better rack leave. Only drawing 3 tiles to quite a bingo-y rack leave. And only 1 O to come, so less of a problem retaining the O on my rack. Opponent taking as long as me with his moves, which gives me more thinking time. Now, column 9 also available for bingos beginning PA, and column 8 for bingos beginning R something N or S. Well, I'm not seeing anything in column 8. What about column 9? And I hope I haven't overlooked this bingo lane before. No, can't see a bingo there. Fantastic. Dacoits remains available. And this is going to shut the board down somewhat. Take out that double-double lane I created in row E. I haven't seen an anagram of dacoits. There could be one, but I don't think it's going to play any better. 67 points. Well, another nice pickup. No bingo, but it's almost always good to see the Z, because it holds out the prospect of getting 30 or 40 points. I have ZU on my rack, which would get rid of the B and the U as well, which would be a nice thing to do. And I also have Zainab. Not seeing anywhere for these plays. The G, not a particularly useful floater. Well, I guess I have Zebu and Ugg. Might be worth doing. Can't see anywhere else for Zebu. None only takes an S after it. G takes a U underneath it. Spar takes nothing after it. Nothing great in column 15. I can't see any Z plays beginning with the un prefix. And now I have Zainab in row M, ZI and B. Pretty good. Keeping a slightly vowel heavy rack leave. Let me look at the remaining vowels. 15 out of 37, so slightly vowel dry, but not very. I have 140 lead, which is pretty good. But still 2 blanks to come. And if opponent bingos, he's likely to be just 1 bingo behind. And there's certainly enough time for him to catch up. What he doesn't have is an abundance of bingo lanes, but there are some. Rows B and C are available. And that's it. I guess row L with a big overlap. With SSE perhaps. Now through an L I would have nebulize. No L's available, but 3 to come. Maybe opponent will open the board up. So my 2 candidate plays are Zainab at the bottom and Zebu at the top. About 30 points at the top. Over 50 points at the bottom. And Zainab gives very little away. It takes an S, so column 14 would be available, but it would burn an S and it wouldn't be a bingo. So that lane actually more useful for me trying to maintain a lead than an opponent trying to catch me. Now, do I have anything in column 8? Onto this T. Not seeing anything. Well, I have Zit, but I was looking for something which began at the top. How about parallel plays to Woken or Dimerize? All the D's have gone, so no danger of a Dimerized play. Okay, a couple of new floaters available, E and T. Ah, look at this, opponent has taken out my Zainab spot, that's annoying. Good score for him, he's only 100 behind now. I don't see a bingo through the T. And I guess I'm in a position of, do I play Zebu or do I play Zeit to interrupt these floaters, bearing in mind there are 2 blanks to come. They both score about the same. So this is what Zeit looks like, and there is some merit here. In retaining the U, there's still the Q to come. I'm taking out bingo lanes. This rack leave is more balanced in terms of vowels and consonants than Zebu. And I'm not setting up a column 8 play. With that E in second place, opponent could score 40 odd points in column 8 and create new bingo lanes. I think I've talked myself into playing Zeit. Not bad. I think I have Rebegun, which plays in row C. I'm going to check that. But I think it's good. Okay, let me check it properly. Yes, that's fine. So that's a stroke of good fortune. Nowhere else for it. But opponent may leave that bingo lane alone if he can't bingo himself. And still, both blanks out there with 22 tiles in the bag. Fantastic, my bingo lane remains available. So, Rebegun. For 70 points. Nice pickup. My only hesitation is that I've dodged both of the blanks, which is a shame. But I think I'm far enough ahead now that I ought to be within sight of the winning post, and I hope I haven't spoken too soon. I don't see a 7 with this rack, but I'm not sure. Well, I was going to say I'm not sure there are any bingo lanes. There is, of course, row O. And opponent bingo's there, 81 points. He now trails by 100. There are 5 tiles in the bag, remaining tiles not particularly bingo-y. Column 1 is a bingo lane ending in E. And there are bingo lanes in rows B and D. It's good to see both blanks going at once. Reduces the likelihood of my opponent having back-to-back bingos. I've only got one pointers. So, quite tempting to play Poa. 5 tiles left. I don't want to play 4 tiles, leaving 1 in the bag, because that increases my chances of drawing the Q and the V. And this rack leave is super hot, and there are 2 bingo lanes on the board. Or 3, counting column 1. So, I like Poa, or I like playing off O and A. So, is there a better spot for O and A? Can't see anywhere which opens a new bingo lane. Can't see anything which... what about Aura? So I'm getting 15 for Poa, 18 for Aura. I think I'll do this. Now, I have Etesian. Does that play? Don't think so. And I don't have anything onto the E of etiolate. Well, I don't think I do. And I don't think Etesian has an anagram. Its plural is an anagram of teniaces, but no floating S's. I don't think there are any lanes I've overlooked. I guess column 15 for bingo's beginning did. Not seeing any of those. Now, am I absolutely sure Etesian doesn't play? That's so close, E-S-I-A, and then Galfa and the G are in the way. And it doesn't go at all in row B. Only 1 pointers, so I don't think I'm going to score very much here. But I may have another shot. Now, does the A help? No tiles left, that's a shame. I was hoping to just fish off 1 tile to go out in style. Does this definitely not make a bingo with an A? 5 vowel 8. I don't think so. I don't think the V helps. 9 minutes on my clock. How about the L? An 8-letter word ending in L. Not seeing anything. So, opponent's emptied the bag. I can see what he's got. He does not have a bingo through the A or onto the E. He trails by 90 points. So, I just need to go out in 2. Are there any hot Q spots I need to block? I don't think there is. I don't think he can use this triple word square with the Q. But that might be useful for me just in terms of maximising score. So I have Tapen for 24, leaving IES. What's the best I can do with my S on this board? Ah, well, there's the Exon's hook. Very hard to, even when you have the time, it's very hard to play these end games really well, and it's a fabulous opportunity to increase your spread in a tournament if you do have the ability to find the best line, but it's just super hard to spot. U only takes an S after it that I've got. So it's about 20 points for utilising this X on hook, which opponent can't do. So why don't I just play pi for 15 and leave that alone for naties next turn, and if that's blocked it plays in row D. I'm going with pi. Probably not best. Yeah, I'm going to play a Niest in column 14. Niest, rather. Would probably have scored more than row L. But there's no doubt about the result of the game. I'm certainly going to win from this position. So if my neats or naties spot is blocked, I've got it in row D. Is there a higher scoring place for it? Well, not that I've seen. Okay, opponent takes out my spot. Nice score, 28 points. But I have nates for 14. Why don't I play Steen for 20, which is more. And the final score, 389 to my opponent, 496 to me. A winning margin of 107 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. It was my opponent to go first. He played Hegira. Good start for him. And I played Vox for 31. I could have got 14 more points, but retaining the V, I7, Dex, and leaving this double lane available. But just in terms of score and rack leave, how does Drem compare with Mauve? Is Drem 14 points better? It's not, but it certainly is a better rack leave, and significantly so. So possibly 8 or 9 points better. I'm not sure, but in any event, I'm reasonably happy with Vox. Opponent's rack, pretty horrible. He plays Pafui. And I played Dimerize. Yep, at F12. And other bingos available. And it was Remiids and Remised. There were the anagrams. And look at this, Myrex is available as a double. More bad letters for my opponent. Plays Toyo. And now I have... Wow! Woken at K1. I didn't play that. I11 is where I did play it for 6 fewer points. And a safer spot. Woken in column 11. Interrupts row N, or kills row N as a bingo lane, and doesn't open up column 1. So I prefer my play. It's far less volatile, which is what you want when you've got a lead of about 60 points. Opponent's rack plays Oi, and now I have Lamager and Gremiel, and they were the only bingos. Opponent plays Did for a handsome score, and now I have Galfa for 28. Yeah, Wafts D10, where's that? Oh wow, that's quite nice. Wafts and Hegiras for 9 more points but burning the S, so I prefer my play. Wow, missed bingo by my opponent. In fact, yeah, he did miss a bingo. There were quite a few available. He plays none for 35, and he is retaining the blank, so it's not a dreadful play. Blank IST, probably worth between 40 and 50 points, so none could actually be the best play, or pretty much on a par with the best play. My rack, I have dacoits, that is the only bingo. Wow, another missed bingo for my opponent, or, well, not that the last one was necessarily a miss. Let's consider this one. Through any, 9 letter plays, always tricky to spot. Opponent plays shite for 40 and retains blank P. So again, although he's missing out on 46 points, the rack cleave of blank P probably worth between 25 and 30 points. So even if it is a missed bingo, it's not a costly one. My rack. And I play Zeit for 33, partly for strategic reasons, taking out floaters. Opponent plays BAP, and this is quite fortunate. I have re-begun for 70. What I didn't see, B7, green bug onto this G. That's a nice word. Opponent now has both blanks and is able to play E till 8 for 81. 3 more points available. One of the blanks covering this double letter square. No bingo for me, 5 tiles left. I play Aura and I like it. Opponent plays Arvel. And look at that, he drew the Q, so the Q was in the bag when I played off OA. Now, this rack, great no missed bingo. And, well, it's very hard to judge what the best play is because you need to take into account what your opponent's likely to do or the optimal play from his rack. So I play Pi. Opponent plays Quant. And I have Steen for 20 to finish the game and just miss out on the 500 mark. So a rip-roaring game. Opponent had some dreadful racks. I had some excellent ones and was able to get quite a few bingos down. So all good fun. I hope you enjoyed watching that game and I'll see you next time.